Hi, it's Katie Martin here again with part 2 of our interview with Ken Whitlow at Texas Regional Title. And in today's episode, we wanted to talk just a little bit about what people should expect when they're calling their mortgage company about a possible short sale or a loan modification, because I know that's a big topic on everyone's mind right now.
It is, and it should be, because it's critically important that borrowers understand what a short sale is in order to be able to communicate better with their mortgage lenders. The problem from a practical perspective is that often those with whom you're speaking at the other end of a phone line don't understand what the products are that might be available within that loan company or that mortgage company to help a borrower in need of speaking to someone there in a position of knowledge and experience and authority at the loan company to be able to even discuss the possibility of a short sale or even a loan workout. That's not the topic of our visit today, but that sometimes would have a place in a conversation like this. But my concern, and through my law practice, I have run into this many times over the years, is that lenders tend to be checkbox oriented. They tend to be pretty rigid and inflexible in their consideration of requests and their resulting decisions. Often we have had better luck communicating, which is so key to everything, with smaller lenders, maybe local lenders, mortgage companies, banks, credit unions particularly are large in our area and active, as opposed to some of the distant, often we might call them even .com types of lenders, just as a descriptive term, meaning harder to approach, harder to speak with. You can't just actually go plop down in front of one and speak with one one-on-one as you would hope to do, because these are difficult issues. They're sometimes embarrassing situations that people find maybe a little bit hard to talk about. They're scary issues where you're upside down on a home or you are desperate to sell it for whatever the reason, and yet can't sell it for what a reasonable fair market value price would be if the mortgage balance is too high. So these are difficult issues under any circumstances. And particularly, again, sort of exacerbated by the amount of money that we're dealing with. I mean, home purchases and home loans are these single greatest loan categories, highest loan categories that most people will ever deal with in their lifetime. So this is big. My experience with lenders dealing with discussions about short sales is, one, that they are reluctant to enter into those discussions. They are reluctant to agree to them. They require, and I understand this and don't disagree, but they require usually a tremendous amount of supporting paperwork to prove up as to why you're presenting them with the prospect of a short sale or some lesser payoff than the true balance payoff would be. You have to support it by proving up the fair market value of the home. Sometimes they may just accept, let's say, an earnest money contract that a real estate agent or a couple of agents have put together for buyers and sellers. They are more apt, though, to not accept just the contracts and seek a more independent third-party opinion of value, such as requiring their borrower sellers to get one or more appraisers to do appraisals. That's right. Often they will look at the borrower seller's financial statements to see if there might be some source of funding outside the equity in a sale with which a loan shortfall can be paid, hence the term short sale. So lots of paperwork, which leads to a lot of redundant requests. You give them one thing one day, it'll ask for the same thing a week later, and the same thing 2 weeks later. Very frustrating process. You need to budget weeks to do this, if not more. So
And the last one that I did was 11 months until we closed.
12, yeah.
And that was post any natural disaster.
doesn't surprise me at all, Katie. And again, lenders just typically aren't set up to deal with those requests.
Right.
Now, they are being asked more and more now for concessions on payoffs, like short sales. But historically, they've not had to do that, so they're just really not set up internally to process those
Right.
requests efficiently or effectively.
I would say also when selling your home, if this short sale is going to be a route that you're going to try to go down, definitely talk with the lender first. Don't just put your house on the market, wait for a contract, and then address the issue with them, because they don't like doing it backwards.
Right.
So.
That's my experience as well. In short, short sales are possible only if your lender will work with you. And not to sound overly negative, I'm sure I already have by now, but it is such a difficult process to go through. As you say, don't wait till the last minute. At the first inkling that might be a possibility or a need that you need to discuss with your mortgage lender, start out trying to do that.
Right. And same thing I would assume with loan modification. Do
Yes.
that at the beginning of the process, and please make your house payments until you have some sort of final answer as to what you're going to do in the process. So, well, thank you so much for visiting with us
My
about
pleasure
this.
as always. Thank
Yes,
you.
sir. And just remember, if it matters to you, it matters to Katie.